In tape number 7, we explored the neurobiological function of the brain. We showed why thoughts matter and how thoughts actually become matter. As you recall, the black circuit, the default circuit, houses all of those thoughts that keep us stuck in our current patterns. The red circuit, the preferred circuit, or preferred thought process, contains the thoughts that we want to develop in order to beat food addictions. These red thoughts are the positive thoughts, the ones that propel us forward to new ways of thinking and new behaviors in regards to food. We introduced the idea that these red thoughts, our positive perspective, must be developed and strengthened to the point where we can allow that black circuit, our default thoughts, to actually atrophy. In tape number 8, we want to take this process to the practical level. Through the process of metacognition, which was explained on tape 5, we now have captured a core set of thoughts that comprise our black circuit, our default or negative way of thinking about food. We're going to use these thoughts to construct a brand new circuit, a positive or preferred circuit, that will drive a whole new set of emotions and behaviors, ones that lead to eating healthy. So let's first take a look at a typical set of default thoughts that you might be using right now to continue eating poorly or eating too much. These thoughts are derived from many years of clinical practice and personal experience. They're my top 10 list of thoughts that I find comprising the black or default circuit in many people. These thoughts may or may not be your thoughts, the ones that comprise your personal negative or default perspective. But if you're overeating, I would bet that at least some of these thoughts occur in your repertoire of negative default thoughts. Now, you may have different thoughts that drive you to overeat, but that's really the challenge of this process. My thoughts are not your thoughts, and vice versa. In fact, no two people have identical sets of negative default thoughts about any problem. This is precisely why one needs to get so good at detecting his or her own negative default thoughts. To be most effective, the red circuit or preferred circuit, this preferred way of thinking that we're going to begin building on this tape, must be custom built to precisely fit one's own collection of default thoughts. And this new preferred circuit, these new thoughts, should be as close as possible to being the antonym or the opposite of the default thoughts that already occur. Not just any old set of positive or preferred thoughts will do. They must be carefully crafted to the exact opposite thoughts of those that already exist in order to maximize the neutralizing effort. So let's begin with a typical list of default thoughts. Again, this represents my top 10. Number 1, I really don't care, as in, I just don't care about what I eat. Number 2, when I'm stressed, or insert bored or tired or angry, I eat. Number 3, food is pleasurable. I want to eat it because it tastes good and it feels good. Number 4, I deserve a treat today. Number 5, I just don't think about it. Number 6, when I'm tired, I say, I need energy. Get something to eat. Number 7, those chips are whole grain, so it's okay. Number 8, I get that distinct feeling of being deprived when I can't have what everyone else is having. Number 9, this time really won't matter. Number 10, I can't help that I'm short on time, and there are only so many choices. I'm forced to hit the drive-thru. What follows then is a list of possible antonym thoughts that could be used to neutralize the previous thoughts. So for the first one, I don't care. Seriously? Of course I care. I should care. It's my body. It's the only one I'm ever going to get. I've got a lot of years left on this body, and I want them to be the best they can be. Obviously, I do matter. I matter a lot. It matters that I feel good. It matters that I get healthy and stay there. When I'm stressed, I eat. When I'm stressed, I exercise. When I'm stressed, I listen to music. When I'm stressed, I grab my journal and I identify my anxious thoughts and I restructure my perspective to think my stress away. When I'm stressed, I meditate, do some yoga, say a prayer. Food is pleasurable. I want to eat it because it tastes good and feels good. Eating something just because it tastes good and I really want it is actually quite irrational, not rational at all. I will only eat what tastes good if it fits into the parameters of what I need for fuel, and it fits into the ratios of food categories that I have already decided I want to follow. If I've maxed my fuel capacity for the day, I'm done. Eating serves the purpose of providing nutrition and fuel. The only valid excuse to eat anything is if I need fuel. I deserve a treat today. Yep, and there are many ways to treat myself that don't involve food. Taking a walk, calling a friend, going window shopping, you name it. I just don't think about it. Well, I do think about it. Whether I hear those thoughts or not, they're still happening. In fact, I can't do anything without thought. I will think the following thoughts when I catch myself reaching for food. If it's not for fuel, turn around, walk away. If I've eaten my limit, I'm done. Food is only pleasurable if it's within my fuel limits for the day. When I'm tired, I say I need energy. Get something to eat. Tired is really the best time to not eat. When I'm tired, eating only makes me more tired. I need to wake myself up first and then decide if I should eat. I should take a jog, or maybe a shower, or take a nap. Those chips are whole grain, so it's okay. Obviously, whole grain chips have calories, plenty of calories. The best food on the planet still has calories. Overfueling is overfueling, regardless of how good that food is for you. I get the distinct feeling of being deprived when I can't have what everyone else is having. The only time I'm really truly deprived is if I deprive myself of the opportunity to eat as I should and to eat what I should. Overeating deprives me of feeling confident and powerful and of being healthy. This one time really won't matter. Each and every time matters. There's no such thing as doesn't matter. There's no such thing as one time. There's only this time, and this time matters. I can't help it, I'm short on time, and there are only so many choices. I'm forced to hit the drive-thru. There is nothing in life that deserves more time than taking care of myself. I always have time for making healthy choices. This is my priority. So cognitive editing or cognitive restructuring involves using the thoughts that we've captured and collected during the metacognition phase and constructing preferred thoughts out of them, just like the previous examples. These are, again, my top 10 list, and they're there for you to use as just that, examples. If you're like most people, you have thought some or perhaps all of these default thoughts. Most of my clients who have issues with overeating give me nearly the same response. What are you doing in my head? But please don't think that the goal is to simply use my edited examples in place of your own default thoughts. The goal is to identify your own unique default thoughts and edit them yourself. Construct your own personal custom crafted set of preferred thoughts. The power of this process lies in being able to do this yourself, with your own default thoughts. And I really can't stress this enough. Feel free, of course, to use the ideas I have given you, but please, for your own benefit, take the time to collect your own default thoughts and create your own positive perspective. Now, once you've completed your own custom perspective, set 30 minutes aside every day to rehearse these preferred thoughts. It doesn't have to be all at once every day. It's fine to rehearse 5 or 10 minutes several times during the day. Now, these rehearsals are simply practice sessions, building the new circuits with each passing thought. And try, whenever possible, to practice these thoughts in writing. By converting these thoughts to written language, one is literally exponentially amplifying the input signal to the brain and creating 10 times the number of synapses as just trying to think them alone, as we discussed in Tape 7. Try to strategically place these practice sessions where they make the most sense during the day. For example, right before leaving for lunch might be a great time to fire off a practice round. The purpose of this activity is to create the greatest number of antonym, red circuit thoughts in the shortest time possible, and then to continue searching for newly discovered default thoughts. You will likely find that when you're actively creating and using some of your preferred thoughts, your brain is going to begin throwing additional thoughts to try and work around the new thoughts that you're using. It's as if our brain is working against us and will begin searching for new ways to talk you back into your old ways. It's a very interesting phenomenon that will probably leave you at least slightly amused at how illogical your brain might become to attempt to have you continue with status quo. Now, even when you make a mistake and give in to overeating, don't despair. This is actually likely to happen many times as you are learning this process. In the wake of a mistake, there is plenty to be learned about what your brain just did to give you permission to carry out the unwanted behavior. This is actually a great time to sit down and listen to what you just told yourself and record it right there in the moment. It's going to take some time to smoke out all of these illogical, permission-giving thoughts that your brain has stored in the warehouse. So please, be patient with the process.